Hey y'all, it's me, Kyra, and I'm back with another episode. So, yeah, episode 5 of Reasonable Doubt has come out. It was called Threat. For those of you who were here when I first started talking about Reasonable Doubt a couple of weeks ago, I was telling y'all that all of the episode titles are named after a Jay-Z song. And I was saying how the show could go on forever, which I believe we're at the halfway mark now, right? I believe the season is going to have 10 episodes in total. I'm hoping it has 10 episodes in total, although I just looked on Hulu and it says season 1, 9 episodes, season 2, 10 episodes, and then when it says season 3, it says 7 episodes. And I'm hoping that they're only like showing, because if you look down like at the description of the episodes and stuff, it'll show you it'll show you all the episodes that have recently been aired, and then it'll show you 2 more. So I'm hoping it only says 7 because it's only showing us those 2 more. And then after 6 comes out, it'll show like the rest of the episodes. I hope so. Because if this ends at 7 episodes this season, then we haven't got into it like we should have been getting into it. Like, I still think the season, and it could just be me, but it's moving a little slow for me. Like, I need more, and I don't know if it's just because I'm so anxious to watch the new episodes, but I'm not, like, I don't know. I need more. It's good. I really enjoy watching it, but I just need more. Like, it's time to get into the nitty gritty, which they kind of did have a little bomb drop at the end of this episode, but I just need more. I don't even know what I need, but I just need more. But let's go ahead and talk about episode 5. It was titled Threat, and I'm trying to figure out why would they call it that. And I'm thinking they titled it Threat because Alex just popped up out of nowhere. Like, we were talking to him on the phone in previous episodes, but we never saw him. This episode we finally get to see him, and he just popped up out of nowhere, and I feel like he's a threat to Ozzy's case. And then we see Kristen. I feel like the threats that we see in this episode are Alex, Kristen, and Monica. We see Kristen being a threat in one way, and then we see Monica posing as a threat to this case. And so let's go ahead and get into it. So the episode just comes out with the banker. Every day I'm hustling. And it's just like they never fail with the music. I think the creator of the show, I think she has a strong hand in the music, because I seen she did an Instagram video about the music one time. But yeah, she's good, and she has to be good because she named all of the titles after Jay-Z songs. So the music has to be great just from that little fun fact alone. So we have Every Day I'm Hustling, just ready to get the party started. And this is how they approach court with this song. This is how we're starting off in court, with Every Day I'm Hustling, because that is what Jax does. She hustles. She gets the job done. And so we see Jax and Ozzy getting prepared for court, and I don't know why I loved it so much, but I love seeing Jax close the mirror, and then we see Ozzy looking into the mirror. I just love shots like that. That's good cinematography to me. I don't know. I just love it. It's great. And with the music, they was walking in court to Every Day I'm Hustling. It was just great. It was great. And then we saw, so I remember last time I was like, so was the monologue in Monica's head, or not in Monica's head, but the voice that we heard, Ozzy when he was writing his diary. We were hearing his voice. That was another night, and the night that we were seeing was the night before the trial, because Monica was helping Ozzy get ready for court. And it's like, so they are like he's basically having an affair with her. And I mean, I guess it's not an affair anymore because his girlfriend is dead now. But while he was with his girlfriend, he was definitely still calling Monica for things. And yeah, so they're still doing the do. And then as they're walking into court, we see Kristen. I was calling her Kiki last episode. I forgot her name, but it's Kristen. She keeps getting these calls from somebody she has saved as F No. And I was just like, who is that? But then we later find out that it's Alex. At one point I was thinking it could have been Daniel, because remember the last episode, Ozzy was saying that his sister like discards her boyfriends, like, and he didn't want her messing with his case. So I thought maybe that's what she had Daniel saved in her phone as, because she was just gonna be pushing him to the side. But we find out that it wasn't Daniel, because one time FNO called while Daniel was in the room with Kristen, and he asked her about it. He was like, who is that? And she's like, oh, it's just a friend. But we later find out that it's Alex. Again, with the wardrobe, Jax's first day of court suit, 8 down, love the burgundy. Yeah, so let's jump to the scene where, okay, so this is after court, and Jax and Bill are talking with Ozzy, because they're trying to figure out his alibi. Like, where were you that night? He says he was at home, but like, he was at home by himself. He has nobody to account for that. So they're trying to get his alibi together, and Daniel suggests that he could use his streaming, if he was watching something on TV, his streaming networks will show like what he was watching at one time. And then Kristen weirdly goes, oh, he doesn't know his passwords, so I'll send them to you. And I just want to know, like, I know, he was a child star and everybody did everything for him, but how you don't know the passwords to your Netflix? Because, like, I'm the type of person that when I go, like say I'm by myself at a restaurant or something of that nature, and I want to watch something on my phone. I mean, the password is saved in my phone at this point, but before then, I had to know the password to put it on my phone. Like, how a grown man don't know his streaming passwords? Like, something, that whole situation right there was sus, because he's, like, I understand that y'all take care of him, but he's not a baby. Like, that don't make sense. You know what the drugs is, but you don't know what your streaming passwords are? Weird. And then another great song comes on in another court scene, They Know by Shawty Lo, and they just know what they're doing. And this is when I came to notice that there's a lot of rap in this episode, and more specifically, every time a court scene pops up, it's a rap song. So I'm trying to figure out what the correlation there is. Like, are we using rap because the courtroom is a hostile environment and rap is kind of known as hostile music, I guess? But, I mean, They Know is not a really hostile song in my opinion. Every Day I'm Hustling is not either, because, people got to hustle to live. I don't know, but They Know played while this guy, I forgot who it was, they were not interrogating, but this guy was on the stand. I think he was a police officer. They were basically asking him, like, they're basically saying, Jackson and them were saying, well, like, there's no evidence that really points to Ozzy being the killer, but the police officer was saying, like, well, it was his gun at his cabin, and all of this stuff, and like So there's no evidence that's not pointing to him either. So I feel like they was playing a they know to say like, oh, everybody knows Ozzy who did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just be wanting to know what comes to the people who are in charge of the music. Like, what comes to their mom when they picking out this music? Like, because I don't know if I would have thought of that. But it makes sense. The song makes sense. And I think, and they kept saying, they know after that. And that was like a bad point in the, that was a bad point in the case for Jax, because at that point, they kind of lost that part because the police officer made it seem like all of the evidence was pointing to Ozzy, even though Jax was trying to say that it wasn't. And then after that, Jax leaves the courtroom and she goes to have a chat with her mother. And I love how, like, they show her mom with, like 3 other ladies. Like, Jax hangs out with her 3 other friends, but it's 3 other grown ladies or older ladies. And maybe it's like a foreshadowing moment. Like, this is how Jax and her friends will be when they retire and they could just go walking in the afternoon. But this is the part that I liked, because Jax finally put Mama Lou in her place. And she basically told Mama Lou, like, yeah, you pillow talking with my daddy, because she knows something going on there. Because Mama Lou was not trying to was not trying to hear Jack Daddy out a while ago, but now you all up in his face now that your boyfriend left you. And yeah, I feel like Mama Lou and Eddie might have a little something going on that they haven't really showed us yet, and Jax is picking up on it because she said, yes, pillow talk, but don't be telling my business. I'll share it when I want to. And I'm glad she called her mom out on everything that I said the last time I was talking about Mama Lou, and it was rightfully deserved, because Mama Lou needs to stay in her place and she needs to stop being so thirsty. And then so after that, that's when we find out, it cuts to the scene where Alex shows up at Ozzy and Kristen's door. And that's when we find out that F knows Alex, and he's basically asking them for some more money. And Kristen was like, I'll get it to you when I can, but right now I can't really give it to you, like, at the moment. And I believe he asked for $100,000, which is wild to me. Like, because Alex, we find out later that Alex was an actor too on the same show as Ozzy. So, like, how come you don't have no money? Like, what happened to all your money? And after Kristen was like, we'll get you the money when we can, Alex goes to the what do they call it? I guess it's the district attorney, the prosecutor's office, to say that he wants to testify against Ozzy. And it's like, dude, just because you couldn't give you the money right away, you finna go start snitching? And I'm just like, look what that money make you do. Because, like, she didn't even say no. She just said, hold on. And he couldn't wait. And now we see him in court testifying. And Ozzy said later that everything Alex said was a lie. So we don't know. Jax basically, like, everything that Alex said in his testimony, or while he was testifying against Ozzy, like, Jax made Alex look like Jax was a very good lawyer in this episode, because every time somebody came at Ozzy, she came back harder. She came back on that girl and was like, well, because I feel like Ozzy had a restraining order against his ex-girlfriend or something. And she was like, well, weren't you at the house and you had a restraining order? Like, she just made the person testifying look even more guilty. Before we got to Alex's testifying in court, there was another part in court where they were playing yet again another rap song. This time they were playing Cut It by OT Genesis. And in this scene, that was when the ex-girlfriend was talking bad about Ozzy, and they were just cutting Ozzy down. But like I said, it didn't really work. And then after that scene, we saw Jax confront Monica. And Monica was just calling Ozzy like an amazing. She was like, that boy. I think she said something about I take care of that amazing boy or something about. And I was just like, ew, like you're too grown to be that in love with him. Like that's nasty. Like you manipulate this child and you used him. And she admitted to using him. She said she uses him for reasons, he uses her. And she even said that Jax uses him because Jax, when they just met with Jax for an NDA, Jax wasn't really interested. But now that he's on trial for murder, Jax is really interested. So she's saying that Jax is using him to, build up her resume, and she's using him for other reasons. And she did kind of eat Jax up with what she was saying, and she was basically saying like that yes, she's traumatized and she came from trauma. And she was like, well, I'm sure, and she was kind of like saying that she was insecure, and she kind of said, and I'm sure you have those problems too. But my thing is, at least Jax didn't use her trauma and insecurities to like manipulate somebody younger than her and abuse them like you did, Monica. Like, I feel like a lot of people, or maybe not a lot of people, but some people grow up with insecurity. Some people grow up with trauma. But it's what you do with that. It's what you do with all that. That shows your true character. So, Monica, whatever you went through when you were little, I'm so sorry, girl, but you still nasty and you still wrong for doing that to Ozzy when he was 13. And for still doing it. Like, I get he's grown now, but that's just still disgusting. And I can't wait till his mama and daddy find out that you're the one who sexually abused him, because his mom might kill you. His mama might kill you. Oh, and Jax alluded to Monica being the killer. And she was like, oh, so you killed Wendy. Which, that's what I meant to say last time when we found out that Monica was the sexual abuser. I was like, so what if she killed Wendy too? But I don't think I said it while I was recording. But that's definitely what I thought. But my friend told me that it would be too obvious if she was the killer. And I was like, I guess you're right. But we're going to get into that, because if you saw the end, you know. Now, so yeah, Monica and Jax was going a little back and forth, and then it cuts to this scene where Chris is in an apartment watching The Chi. Now, shout out to The Chi. I love The Chi. I've been wanting to do episodes on The Chi for the longest. I've been wanting to do episodes of Kintertainment on the show called The Chi. But I think I'm going to do it when they start their last and final season, which will be sometime next year. So we're going to take a break from Reasonable Doubt for like 10 seconds. And if you haven't been watching The Chi, you need to go watch The Chi on Paramount Plus before 2026, before they start their new season. It's probably going to come out in May, because that's the last two seasons have come out in May. But, okay, now let's go back to Reasonable Doubt. So Chris is in there watching The Chi, and I just love how they showed another black show, Love. Because that was cool. Like, they could have showed, like, an old show, like Good Times or something. Because I feel like when people are watching shows within a show, they're always talking about, like, older shows. But they showed The Chi, and I just thought that was really cool and really nice of them to show love to another black show. And then Chanel comes to the house and tries to take up for her cousin. I didn't see a problem with Chanel showing up to Chris's apartment, but at the same time, I'm trying to figure out why did we need that scene? But anyway, Chanel showed up there and was like, basically, stop playing my cousin. If you want to be with her, be with her. If you don't, let her know, because she don't deserve this, which is true. And I see why she came up there, because she is kind of the reason why they're getting a divorce. But he explained that it's more to it. Like, he really wanted to be a homeowner, and his wife messed that up. Is her name Angie? I forgot his wife's name that quick, and I was just talking about her on the last episode, I think. But anyways, yeah, I get all that, but I just don't know why this was needed at this moment. But I'm curious to see what it's going to lead up to. But I feel like whatever divorce they're going to have. Later, there's another scene where, like, I guess she went to the apartment to hook up with her husband. Angela went to that same apartment that Chanel left, I guess, to hook up with her husband. And the husband, Chris, invited Angela to go to his mom's house for Thanksgiving, because I guess the whole family knows that they're separated besides the children. And he was saying that he wants her to be there, for the children, because it's weird and he doesn't want it to be weird around them. But she was like, no, like, you're not going to string me along anymore. I want a divorce. And so I think that their divorce is going to be the center of season 4. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. So yeah, then we talked about, then it comes to after Chanel goes to Chris's house, we see Alex testifying against Ozzy in court. And I already talked about that. So after Jax basically switched Alex's story up and made him look guilty, we see the lawyer, like, throwing fits in his office. And I get it, this was a viable point in the case, and this was a moment, like, that was a key witness in the case, and Jax flipped him. So it's not looking bad. It's not looking good for the prosecutor. But for him to just throw his stuff all over his office, like what do you, like, I mean, he has a loss on his hands, but what more do you have to lose? I mean, you might lose your job. But, I mean, they're not going to fire him. They're just not going to put him on any more high-profile cases. So, I don't know if that's why he was really mad. But him flipping out like that was very suspect to me. So, I wonder if he, like, might be crooked or something. I know sometimes I be reaching with my guesses or my, I don't know what word I'm trying to use, but with my guesses. But I don't know, like, the dramatics be dramatic. And I just be wondering, like, what if? So what if this man is crooked? Or what if he, I don't know. But I don't know. That whole little scene was just very suspect to me. And then we're back at Ozzy's house with Kristen. So Kristen is with Daniel this night, and I don't know what they were doing before, but earlier, like when Daniel was talking to Jax's assistant in the office, they were talking about how, like, because the assistant was saying, like, how she knows how to please a woman, and Daniel was like, I do too, but she didn't believe him because she thinks he's a nerd and all of this. And he basically, like, told her, how he knows how to please a woman. And it got her all riled up. And then now we get to see in this scene that Daniel was not lying about pleasing the women. Like, it was so funny because Kristen was like, dang, Daniel. And I just remember when that was like a meme. So that was funny to see. And yeah, I never thought I would have saw the day where Daniel would have had a sex scene in this show, but he is getting it in. And he told the assistant that he was the Cape Town Casanova, and I guess this is where we got to see the Cape Town Casanova at work. But I'm trying to figure out, is Kristen using him? Like, does she really like him? Because it seems like, at first it kind of seemed like she really liked him, but now I think she's using him because she knows, like, he works with Jax really closely, and, like, I think she's trying to sway Daniel, like, because I honestly think Kristen had to do something with Wendy's murder, and she probably trying to keep Daniel close, so, like, it'll keep the eyes off of her. But I definitely think she had something to do with it, because he was asking her questions about stuff, and she was just like, and she just, like, kind of shut him up and kissed him and stuff. And that's how they got into, doing the do. And I'm just like, So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Kristen really likes Daniel or she just playing a game. And it could be both, right? But while this is going on, Ozzy is calling Monica. Well, Jax first calls Daniel to try to say that she thinks that Monica also killed Wendy. And then Ozzy calls Monica and he was like, what are you doing? He was talking to her about not believing that Alex would testify against him. And Monica wasn't really saying anything, so he was like, what are you doing? And we just see Monica burning some clothes with blood on them. And she was like, saving you. And that's how the episode ended. So like I said, the episode ended with a bomb drop, which they kind of always do. They always end well. But I need us to keep, like, that's the energy I want for the whole hour. Like, I just want to see action, 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 action. So, yeah, I don't know whose clothes that was that Monica was burning. I don't know if they were hers. Like, I don't know what happened. I'm totally at a loss because, like I said, I thought Monica could have possibly killed Wendy too. But is that too obvious? Also, I think Kristen has something to do with it too because she's been acting weird. You know, so it could be either one of them. I just can't wait to see what we have coming next because I be at the edge of my seat when it comes to the very end. But during, I just be like I be scooting and then I'll scoot back because I'm like, that wasn't enough for me. But like the end be having me locked in. I don't know. But yeah, some other things that happened in this episode that may have been important was Jax going to see her dad. She went to go talk to him about his drug use because they thought because Daniel told her, or maybe it was Bill or Daniel told her that might give her some insight about Ozzy. And I don't really know if it gave her insight about Ozzy, but I think it kind of helped her heal a little bit because he was telling her, like, you know, while he was out there doing them drugs, he wasn't trying to neglect her. He was actually thinking about her, but it was just a tough time for him. So that was kind of a moment. And then Lewis, you know, was spying on the dad, and now he has Daniel. He's paying Daniel to spy on the dad. And Lewis actually saw Jax leaving her dad's motel room, and I don't think she talked to Lewis about going to see him or anything. So, like I said, it's going to be strains on their relationship. Like, that's going to be another thing. I don't like how we didn't get to see, like, Bill's backstory about his family this episode. We didn't get to see Naima or Spencer in this episode. So that's why I think they have to have more than 7 episodes, because we still got all of these other backstories to tie up, you know? So I'm hoping there are 10 episodes and not just 7. I can't wait to watch Reasonable Doubt Reasonable Doubt Season 3, Episode 6. I can't wait till Episode 6 comes out. The next episode is going to be titled No Church in the Wild. So hopefully that one is very exciting. But all of my people that watch Reasonable Doubt, like, people talk to me in person about the show. But y'all, don't be scared to talk to me in the comments. Don't be scared to DM me. You can comment on any of the platforms that the show is on. Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, YouTube. Leave me some comments because I want to know what y'all think too. And I also want to know what else y'all are watching, so we can see what we're going to talk about next when Reasonable Doubt goes off, because we only have 5 episodes left, hopefully. We might only have 2, but I really think it's going to be 10 episodes. But yeah, guys, continue to watch the videos. Thank you so much for watching. Please follow me on Instagram at Kintertainment Pod. Like my Facebook page at Kintertainment. Subscribe to this channel that you're watching, and you can also subscribe to me on Apple Podcasts and Amazon Music. I will see you guys next week. I can't wait to talk with you guys about the next episode. See you later. Bye.